Alright, so in this video I'm going to speak about my process behind all the Bitcoin shorts I opened during the last weeks and how I'm going to milk the most out of them. So let's take a look first at Twitter. We can see that I was speaking about a new yearly open candle coming soon, and I was expecting one more sweep before going lower. And if we take a look at Bitcoin, we can see that during Christmas we were seeing accumulation, and I was expecting an AMD narrative. That means we need a manipulation before going lower. And also we need to have in mind that if we take a look at the yearly chart, almost every candle has a wick. So if we expect this chart to fill this FBG, we need first an manipulation to the upside, creating the manipulation wick of the candle before going lower. So first of all, the first trade I placed was in this weekly FBG, and the target were these lows of the range. But now we need to figure the manipulation to place the stop loss in a safe zone. Obviously we don't want to place a stop loss in a weak high, we need a strong high. So if we take a look at the order flow, we can see that inside this BPR we had a first manipulation, here we had another one, and here we had the last one in the daily chart. So my position will look like this. Stop above the strong high and target in the range lows. Let's see what happened. We can see this first sweep, but no momentum at all to the downside, so we went another one, and now we filled that weekly FBG. So from here, I'm going to clean the chart a bit, and I'm going to move this here. Okay, so now we can see that we have this huge daily FBG, and now we have two options right here. We can go again for the highs and then dump, and we could enter here, or we can go straight to the downside and just enter here. This is pretty much what I was speaking in Twitter during those days. So here, this day we almost closed below the daily FBG. So here what I did was I entered with half the size around here and half the size around here, as I was seeing a lot of momentum to the downside. So let's say my entry was here, and again targeting the range lows and also these lows. Right now my last position was with the stop loss right here, so the risk went from 1% to maybe 0.1%. So here let's say I was risking 0.9% plus 0.1%. So that's full risk 1%. Okay. And now let's mark the yearly open. We can see that I was speaking about more shorts coming when we flipped that yearly open. So let's wait for price to react here. We can see that we have a new daily FBG, and this looks like a manipulation to me. So if we see some type of momentum breaking below this swing low and the yearly open, we can expect more shorts from here. And this is what I sent inside the Telegram channel, as you can see. And this is the last position I took just yesterday. We can see that price just went below, closed below with momentum, and the last position has been something like this. Okay, and now I can print a ton of money because we have one thing here. We are in the discount of the range. We are not in the premium anymore. So my risk here is half the size I did here and here. But as my stop loss will come to here and this one to here, I can risk all these profits and all these profits in this stop loss. So instead of just being a 0.5% stop loss, it is a 0.5% plus profits of the last two shorts. Let's say here I'm closing this trade. Here I'm making, I don't know, maybe 1K. So here I can risk 1K plus 0.5%. All right. So right now I have a very compound entry that if Bitcoin falls, I'm going to make a lot of money, but if it just goes up, I'm wrong. I'm not going to lose much. I'm going to lose 0.5%. Okay, so this is how you should be compounding your entries if you want to milk the most out of the markets. But this is not something you can do every day. These are small windows of time that appear where bias is so clear that you can entry many times, moving your stops lower and compounding a lot. I don't think I'll compound more from here because we are just breaking to the downside, and this means we are in the discount, and obviously I don't want to place more shorts here because we could just manipulate again and I will lose all the profits of the shorts. All right, so this is the exact way I'm going to milk this movement with these three shorts. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I am recording this like 3 days later from the last clip you saw, and during this time we started to get closes above this H4 fair value gap that we had when we closed below the yearly open. Also, we had a few daily closes above the yearly open, and I said this in the Telegram channel. I cut the last half risk short for a minor loss because of the reaction and the closes above the yearly open. Also, we were going to have FOMC tomorrow when I said this, so I was expecting a bit of manipulation, probably going into these highs, and then we will have the expansion. And I didn't want to miss all this movement because of the last trade I took. So I took a small loss here, and I did that because I was expecting a fast reaction around here, and I didn't want to see much consolidation above the yearly open and inverting these FPGs before FOMC, so it didn't make sense to hold that anymore. And right now I'm just waiting with my first two orders, and we'll see what happens from here. But this equal high and this accumulation looks like another potential AMD, so I'll wait for now. If we just dump from here, it's okay, but if we take the highs again and form another bearish structure, I will short again from here, something like this. And this is all for this video. I think it's useful to see also how I manage my positions so I don't miss all the movement because of the last trade I added. And that's all for today. Hope you learned something from this, and see ya.